Hello, I'm Cheryl Lean, and I practiced in this jurisdiction for 12 years before I moved to lovely Prince Edward County, and I've been practicing there for the last 15 years. I was called to the bar at the National Arts Center back in 1991. I was 41 years old at that time, and I had had a previous career, wonderful previous career before that as a photographer. I worked with a feminist group called Real Life in the 1970s. We distributed feminist films. We did workshops on health, women's issues, domestic violence. So through that group, I also developed as a photographer and subsequently did film strips. I won awards as a photographer. My photography is in national collections. And I won an award at the New York Film and Television Festival for a film strip I did. In 1981, I was involved with thousands of women across this country. And this was the taking of Section 28 of the Charter. This was during the period when the Charter was being negotiated by the provinces. And women from all over this country formed groups and sent delegations to a conference in Ottawa. And we, at that point, Section 15, the equality rights in the Charter, were going to be subject to the notwithstanding clause. So we felt that it was really, really urgent to get Section 28, which would guarantee, notwithstanding anything else, it would not be subject to the notwithstanding clause, equality for men and women. When I first looked for a job, there were two types of listings. There was help wanted male, and there was help wanted female. There were different minimum wages for men and women. When I went to school, I couldn't study shop. I could take home ec only. This was really galling, and that drove me to work as a feminist and to take the view that equality of opportunity is everything. And that's what I was advocating in 1981. Imagine my surprise. And that experience actually was one of the experiences that made me think about going into law. I love the Charter. I love freedom of expression as well as equality. So imagine my surprise in 2017, I get an email from my law society telling me that I'm to write a statement, and it's to say this, this, and this, sign it, and that possibly I could lose my license if I didn't do this. Then I saw that this policy was not about equality, it was about equality of result, because everybody is going to be monitored to see, if that they have the right percentage of whatever in their law firm. We were all going to be identified. I'm a white woman. I do have, but that's my identity. That would be, I'm supposed to, I noticed in the way the statistics of the Law Society were put, if you refuse to answer those questions, you're presumed white. Okay? So I refuse, because I don't think any of us should be seen as our race or our gender. I think we should all be equal in front of the Law Society. So that is the reason that brought me here today. I just can't conceive that the Law Society is now asking me to make a statement. It's kind of like the Communist Party in Chinese. You now have to be a member of the Communist Party. So the other thing that got me interested in running was the Family Law Action Plan. And I was insulted by the way that was handled. The only question was adding people to practice to provide family legal services. That was the only question. It was not an access to justice issue at all. The submissions from lawyers and courts across the province were summarily rejected, and that is in the committee report. They were seen as self-interested, and therefore all of their submissions were rejected. It was an insult. It was the arrogance that was shown in the Family Law Action Plan and the way that they implicated. It was an insult, and that's why I'm running. I think the Law Society needs to be pushed back, and it should be attending to its core mission and bringing its budget under control. Those are my